Okay, so first of all, that Happy New Year. And one thing that today's my session is I think this is today's the session. The teaching session is the first my teaching session in 2019. 2019 session. And especially I'm so happy about the topic to share my experience with my master and share some of the time what I spent with my master. So this is the very special topic I feel. Also, I think this is the first session in my life talking about my life with my master. And so that's why I'm so happy to get this opportunity to share some of my experience with my master. And also the one important thing is that normally we have to understand that how should we have to keep the relation with the master. Quite often people used to ask me that how they can find the right master and the right guru. I always used to tell them, you don't have to go and find the right master. Just wait for the right time. Right master will find you. Because sometimes what's happening is that, especially in this now the time, there are a lot of the peoples. A lot of the peoples wants to find some right master and the right practice. But the difficulty is that sometimes they could not find the right master. Because actually, you can only find the right master. I always used to say that you can only find the right master when you become the right student. Once you become the right student, then you can find the right master. Because there are a lot of the fake masters. I always used to say that there are a lot of the fake masters because there are a lot of the fake student. Once they are the fake student, they will be the fake master. It is like a chicken and egg. Once you become the right student, you will find the right master. But in my case, I was not a right student when I find my right master. That was, I always feel, very different. First time when I met my master, I was very young. I think I was age of 8 or 9. I don't know what it made. I just gave him the one small statue of the Lama Tsongkhapa, small statue. I have no idea that why I give that to him, but I gave it to him, my master. He happily accepted that. This is the first memory of my master when I was age of 8 or 9, like that. But the time went, and in my life, what I feel is the most of the impact of my master, few things that it's impact me in my life. Because the one thing I always see is the quality of my master is he's very strong. I mean the mentally and the very brave. Mentally very strong person, very strong. He was been in the prison, more than 3 to 5 years in prison, especially, I'm not so sure, had you heard about the Cultural Revolution happening in China. In the Cultural Revolution time, he was get caught. And he was put in the prison. His crime is the teaching the Buddhism become his crime. So that is, in the Cultural Revolution time, it's a crime to preach the Dharma. So it's a preaching the Dharma. So that's why he get caught and he put in the prison 3 to 5 years. But he always tell me that when he was in the prison, he never blamed anyone. He never blamed anyone, and he always prayed the one prayer in the prison. If he can help the sentient beings, he may get out of this prison. In his life, he is not going to benefit any sentient beings. Let him die in the prison. That really prayer, it's so strong for me. That really prayer, it really helped me a lot in my life. Because whenever we go for the class, or whenever we go to the class, he never say that today he is sick. He always gives the teaching. He never say that he is busy or he is sick, or never give any excuse. Even he is not feeling well, he gives the class and he teaches us. And he used to tell us that that's his prayer. He prayed so many times when he was in the prison. So the purpose of his levy is to benefit the others. That is the very amazing and very touching thing for me. Because one thing in your life, I know that everyone wants to have a very happy life. Everyone wants a happy life, everyone wants a very peaceful life, everyone wants that. The big question is that when you can have the peaceful life, when you can have the meaningful life, you can have the very meaningful life if you have the right purpose of the living. What is the purpose of your living? Just you should ask this question. I always used to say that we are not just born to pay all these insurance bills or the house bills or the gas bill and die. We are not born for that. We are not born for paying the just bill and the die. We have more than that we have to do. We have more things to do, that we have to find the purpose of the life. The purpose of the life is to benefit. When you choose this purpose, then it will change. That moment your life will get changed. Right now, when you might say that, oh, my life is not changed. When you think that you can earn some more, it's going to change your life. You are totally wrong. It will not going to change you at all, I can assure you. I have one experience. I was in the DC, Washington DC, after my talk in the World Bank. They have the two branches. The one they call the international, the money that we give the IMF, the director of the IMF. I was talking in the car with him. I think you should not record that. It's a bit personal. My point is that when you think that you can earn more and that it's going to change your life, that will never happen. That will never happen in your life. If you earn maybe 100,000, still you will look for the 10,000. Sorry, then you will look for the millions, billions. It's go on. So that's why that should not keep in your mind that when you earn more, it will going to change your life. It's not. That is not going to happen at all. So thing is that you have to choose the right purpose of the living, then your life is going to change. When my master told me that when he was praying that the purpose of the living for him is the benefiting the other, that was such a strong message I got from my master. That is the strong. When I was a kid, he was telling me that story so many times, but I heard, I understand, but it didn't went into my heart. Moment that word went into my heart, it changed my life. Today, same thing, what I told you, maybe you may understand it, but I'm not so sure whether it goes in your heart. The moment it goes into your heart, it will change your life. So that the moment, it went to my heart one time in my life. Everyone's, I'm not sure that everyone's life, there will be a lot of the up and downs. It goes in everyone's life. So there will be up and down, all in the lives in the up and downs. So, in my life also, I've been through lots of sometimes in a life, not the difficult, I can say like difficulties, not the challenges. Like one time, when I heard that my cousin brother was passed in the accident, the moment is so difficult for me to accept it. Because it was so close. We grown up together. We spent a lot of our childhood time together. Certainly when I heard that he passed away in such an accident, the moment was so difficult for me to accept it. Not, plus, when I see my father's crying, my brother's crying, it makes it more difficult for me to accept. It may have, I think you all may have that experience. When you lose someone, first it is very difficult to accept it. Secondly, what you can see with your family, that the pain or the suffering, it makes it more difficult to accept it. I went through that. So, very difficult for me. But at that moment, my teacher was with me, were mentally supporting me, not only me, from my parents. He was supporting me, mentally supporting me. In my life, that was such a moment that my master, really, he supported me a lot of that moments. That the moment, it comes to everyone's life. I know that it comes to everyone's life. So that the moment that my master, one thing is, as I mentioned before, my master is so strong, and he tells us some stories of his own life. That his own life is, he's telling me the story that the one thing, the moment that when he was got caught in the prison, he was get caught in the prison. So not only they was put him in the prison, that time they don't serve the food, because at that time the whole China having the lack of the food. So you do not have any food to eat, much food to eat in the prison. So he told me that his prison inmate, when they go to the walk in the field, when they see the mouse or any insect, they kill and eat raw meat. They were so hungry, they have nothing to eat. But he told me one thing, that he never did like that, to go and hurt others. He never did that. That's really give me the strong message. So even like this condition like that, still he refrained. Still he didn't commit any negative karma. Still he was so hungry, but he didn't commit the negative karma. So that message, what I learned from that message is, still, if we can be the strong from the inside, whatever the foods and the shelters, whatever, we can adjust it. If we become so weak from the inside, it doesn't matter what food you eat, how luxurious life you are having it, there will be the pain. So once you from the very strong inside, so that moment I thought that I should be the very strong. Then I thought that the one thing that I lose my cousin brother. Not that time, also a lot of things happens to me. One of my cousin's close friend committed the suicide. Many things happens. So when then I thought the one thing that I should be the strong. To be the strong, what I need a one purpose. Purpose is that my purpose life was how I can help the people who are having like these problems or difficulties. Then I try to find some way. How can I help the others? But the one thing is that in the life, I know that the one thing in my life that I've really learned that in this world, there are a lot of the good people. Sometimes these all good people are not knowing each other, not getting connected each other. So then the second thing is that whatever the good thing, if you started to do it, if you started to do it, I'm sure that the result always comes very good. Because I want to share the one thing that I'm not so sure whether you may know or whether you may know or whether you may not know. I started one project. That's 2 years back. I just started one project of feeding the poor people, giving the food for the poor people. And I started that project with a $300. $300 is around maybe 21,000 Indian rupees, $300. So $300, I told my student, now okay, we will start up that project. We'll go. Now we'll make the food and we'll distribute for the food for the homeless people, and we will give the food for the poor people. Then what happened is that when we started with the $300, now we are feeding around 1,300 something twice a week. Every week, twice times, we are feeding the 1,300 lunch box for people we are feeding. And when we are doing like this, the charity work, I met one lady in the Mongolia, and she heard about the DAS project, and she donated the one very precious and valuable thing. Can you imagine that what she gave to us? She just gave her wedding ring to donate for that project. Gold wedding ring. She is not a widow. She is not a divorcee. But still, for the widow and the divorcee, maybe the wedding ring might not be that valuable. Well, not a divorcee, not the widow, she donated that. Really, that is so precious and valuable, and normally I don't carry something like the valuable things. That the wedding ring I was always carrying up till when I can pass over to the students who are handling that project. So then I gave to my students who are handling the project, and I gave that the wedding ring, and I told them, okay, now sell that, and the money will be used to the food project as I wish. After maybe several months later, I called them, how much money you get for that wedding ring. The student told me they could not sell it at all. They could not dare to sell that wedding ring. It is so precious. So precious. So why I'm saying all this is sometimes when you do that, there are a lot of people's things in this world. I see that a lot of the people, good people, sometimes these good qualities also not get activated. Every human has a positive and a negative qualities. Every human has that. So what you have to do is you have to activate the positive qualities. When you can activate your positive qualities, others' positive qualities, then you can see the good human surrounding you. To activating the good qualities, that is the one main important job of the master. So my master did that. He activated my positive qualities. Actually, when I was a kid, I'm 100% sure that I don't have any positive qualities. Because I'm so lazy, so naughty, I don't study properly. I don't do the good thing. But anyhow, my master found the one small good quality is me, and he activated that in me. So that's the things that right now, whatever these charity activities, whatever I did, I always feel that was the blessed from my master. No one can believe that with the $300 we started something doing, and now we reach up to the 1,300 foods we are delivering to the poor. And then the most important thing is that we delivering the food. I always feel that these kids who go to deliver the food, they should pay the respect for the people. Respect, feed the soul. Now what I learned is that the feeding the stomach is the one thing. Feeding the human soul is the most important thing is that. Today you get hungry, you get the food, you will forget about hunger. Someone hurt you, someone humiliated you, you will never forget that whole your life. Even that person says sorry to you, but still one side of your mind, you will think that what the person did to you. So that's why in my master's life, my master liked that the one thing that even he got put in the prison, still he don't have any negative feelings. That I got so amazing surprise. Because he was got in the prison, put in the prison, with charging him that you are teaching the Dharma. Ordinary people. If you look at some ordinary people, it happens like that. Their whole life they will carry the negative feeling. And my master, he never carried any negative feeling. That was such a big lesson to me. So that's why in my life, I feel the different peoples, but I always try to be like him, not carrying any negative feeling. Even someone hurt directly or indirectly, whatever happens, I never carry any negative feelings of other. That is the one very important thing in the life. You should learn that. Once you have to live very happily in the life, you should not have carried any negative feeling for the others. I'm sure you might think that. I always used to say that different places, some people say, oh, they don't have any people whom they dislike. They don't carry any negative feeling to anyone. Many people used to tell me that. When I told them, you know that Tonglen practice, giving and taking meditation, no? When I tell you meditate and think the person whom you dislike and take their suffering or negative qualities. When I introduced that practice, many people used to tell me, in their life, they don't have any person whom they dislike. I always used to tell the one simple thing, if there is no person whom you dislike, think the election. Then you will find someone whom you dislike. Think about election, definitely, then you will find someone whom you dislike and someone you like. So, but don't carry any negative feeling towards them, whoever, okay? Don't carry any, because this, when you are carrying the negative feelings toward them, that makes your life more difficult, more unhappy. So that's why I learned from my master that even he was put in the jail and the charge with the teaching the Dharma, but still he don't carry any negative feelings toward them who put them in the jail. He don't have any negative feelings for them. That is the most, the biggest lesson I learned from him, not through the word. Through his life story, I learned that. That is the one very important message. Then the one thing is that when I met, then later the one time, I went to see my master. I went to see my master, and my master asked me the one question. Asked me the one question. And he usually, main of his practice, he do the law of the karma. His main practice is he do the law of the karma practice. Law of the karma practice is very simple. If you do good, you will get the good things. If you do the bad, you will do the bad things. You know that, no? I think you all study that. Exactly. That is very simple, the theory of the law of the karma. His main practice is that he too much emphasis. Very deep practice, he do the law of the karma practice. So law of the karma practices he do, and he asked me the one question, one question. His question is that, what do you think? What do you think that once you did something wrong without knowing by anybody, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about it when you do something wrong and no one knows about it? How do you feel about that action? Do that action will bring something negative result or not? So, theoretically, I know everyone say yes, I know that. Practically, you will not. Practically, I'm not so sure. Really, you feel that or not, that I'm not very sure. Theoretically, everyone says the yes. But in my master case, practically, he was very emphasizing and telling me the one thing that it will bring the negative result. It will bring the negative result. Very emphasizing on that. I didn't know. I was quite young. But I didn't know that the importance of that message. I didn't know. Because we are in the monastery, when we are studying the law of the karma, every time we say that when you do the wrong thing, you will get the negative result. When you do the wrong thing, wrong result you will get. But when my master, he was emphasized that time the word very strong, few times, yep, you will get a bad result. But I didn't know the importance of that message. But one time, I was traveling, it was, I still very clearly remember that I was in the Kathmandu airport. And I'm carrying the luggage and it's an overweight luggage. So I think 10 or 15 kg, I don't remember exactly. So then the officer told me that I have to pay the tax for the excess baggage. So 3,000 Nepali rupees, so it will be around maybe 1,700-800 Indian rupees. Yeah, that custom officer told me that I have to pay for it. So then he can pay the bills. Then a few minutes later, custom officer changed and he told me that if I pay him 500 Nepali rupees, it will be the 300 Indian rupees. 300 rupees, he will let me go. You know that sometimes that he want to keep it something for the drink, the tea. The moments I was thinking, yeah, if I pay him the 500 rupees, that means that I can save quite a lot of money. Obviously, yeah, he was letting me go. He's the officer, he had the authority and he was letting me go, paying the 500 rupees and letting me go. I don't have to pay the 3,000. 3,000 rupees, I don't have to pay 500 rupees. The moments later, I just remember my master's word. When you do the wrong things, you have to carry the negative result. That vote triggered my mind. I said, no, I will pay 3,000 rupees. Give the bill. That the moment he was a little bit shocked. No, I'm saying 500 rupees. You can go. 500 rupees. No, I will say, I will pay the 3,000. Give me the bill. I want to pay it for the government. So that is the master word. So now you look at this point. This point, I know that some people feel I've done such a stupid thing. I can save the 2,500 rupees. I can save it. Then some people will tell the 2,500 rupees that I can give to the poor people. Am I right? 2,500 rupees. I can buy the medicine and give to the people who don't have the money to buy the medicine. Right? These all calculations comes in the mind. I know that. I know that. I know that these all calculations, I'm not saying these all calculations are wrong, okay? They have the logics, they have the reasons, I know that. But these all calculations, the logic, there is, but these also, this is in the Tibetan, we have the one saying, killing a fish and giving to the hungry dog. Did you get my point? Killing a fish and giving to the hungry dog, okay? First you kill the fish, then you will feed the hungry dog.
Non-virtuous.
So this is something, you are doing something like that. First you do the something wrong, to fix it, you are doing the something right. Even you do the right, you cannot fix that the wrong what you have did. So this is the word really my master. So this is the one, not only that one incident in my life. So many incidents like these challenges comes into my life. So many challenges in my life. What to do and how to do. So many challenges like this and the incidents comes into my life. So, but he's the message, what he gave, that message really helped me to how I have to make the decision. Because sometimes in your life, I also feel that sometimes when you have to make the decision, sometimes you will get confused to make which is the right and the wrong decision. Sometimes it's very difficult, especially when you look on the argument or the two people's argument side. When your two peoples are arguing each other, it's very difficult to find who is the right and who is the wrong. It's very difficult. When the two persons argue each other. Because both sides have the logics. They will carry the logic. Both sides have the reasons and the logics. Both sides will have it. Now to find the right way, to find the right path, it is the most important to find the right path. And my master's message, really it helped me a lot. Because his master's message is very simple, that he talks about the karma. When you do the right things, right result. When you do the wrong things, you will get the wrong result. So right thing and the right result, and the wrong thing, wrong result, practically it helped me so many things in my life to solve the issues and the things in my life, the issues. Because one time, I think I'm not so sure, I've shared one time, what happened is I was traveling from Bangalore to the Guwahati or somewhere I was traveling. So once I reached the Bangalore, so my student forgot his ID card, to bring from the monastery the ID card. So then we are in the airport. So a lot of the questions comes into my mind. What should I do? What should I do? Shall I tell the lie? Tell them, oh, ID cards were with me, I just fall when I come into the airport. That is the one lie I can use. So, what of those? Whether I should tell the lie, whether I should tell the truth. That's the one thing. I think you just look at it in your life. I think sometimes you have, or maybe I'm not so sure, you have, or sometimes you try to tell the lie. Even you know it's a lie, but you try to tell the lie to make others happy, or whatever the reasons. So that moments that I have a lot of thoughts comes into my mind that whether I should tell the lie, or whether I should tell the truth. So lots of the questions came to my mind when I was traveling to the airport. Maybe, so I'm very sorry, sorry. This is too yeah, so So yeah, there's a lot of that's came up in my mind. So I'm not that time. So then I decided that well, no matter whatever happens, I should tell the truth. Because my masters always said, when you do the right thing, you will get the right result. When you do the wrong things, you will get the wrong result. That is the one he emphasizes so much, because of his main practice is the law of the karma. So then in the airport, I told very true, I forgot. He forget to bring the ID card. So moments when I was telling, I was worried that not allowed me to go. Once I cannot go, maybe I have to stay one day. I will miss all the program which is going to happen in the Sikkim. So I know that it's going to finish. But I told the truth. But finally, the very gentle guy, the security person, and he let me go in. But one thing here you have to know, that when I'm saying to do the right thing, you will get the right result. But sometimes, when you do everything very rightly, I'm sure that sometimes you will not get the right result. You might get any difficulties. When you face the difficulties, when you face the difficulty, most important thing is that you always have to stick on to doing the right things. Because otherwise, what happen is that when you do the right things, first when you do the many good things and the right things, but when you face any difficulties, then suddenly you will lose the hopes and the courage. That happens. Because in my own experience with many students, my own experience that sometimes when they come to do some very good things, first they come with a very emotional, some things. When the time passes, they lose that emotion or excitement or then slowly they will get tired to do the many good things. That happens. So that's why something like that, that's why whatever, no matter whatever you do, the things, you should not get away from the right track. So that's the one my master, whenever he said something, whenever he decided to do something, he will keep the continuation of the doing of that. That is his one third quality I saw him. Whatever he says that he will do, he will keep on doing it. He will never leave something between doing the things. So that is the one third quality. Now I will share my masters how he had the visions and his vision. I have his vision. Okay, maybe before that I just thought to share the one thing. In 2018, I was not in Sarah, not Balakupi. The 2018 I was not in Sarah. And my master, he had the one advice to me is that whenever I go out, I should come once and back to the monastery. That he advised to me. I have to come back once. So that's why in the 2018 whole year I was not in Sarah. So I have to back in the 2018. Once in the 2018 I have to back. So that was the 2018 December, I think 31st. Early morning, 3 a.m. I reached the Sarah. So that means that the 2018 I came back to the Sarah. 2019 also I was in Sarah. Now I can go whole 2019 out of the Sarah. Only now 2020 I have to come back. But the thing is that my master, so that's why maybe I can be wrong. That's why I was flying from Patna. I was in Patna. So I have to reach before 31st of the December back to the Sarah. So that's why I was in Bodh Gaya. I was having some teaching program. Even I could not finish all the program because of my master's work. So that's why I was flying from the Patna to come back on 30 December night. I took the flight from Patna from the 30 December night to coming back to the Sarah. My main purpose of coming to the Sarah, just my master's work. Masters have told me to do that, so I'm just coming. I have no any purpose to come back to the Sarah. But the one thing is very amazing that in the flight was taking the flight from the Patna, 30 December, my flight from the Patna to the Bangalore. I never experienced such a smooth flight in all my life. In this world, maybe I travel in the Cathay, I travel in the KLM, I travel in most of the world famous airlines. Alaska, JetBlue, American Airlines, all the famous airlines I fly. But that is the most smooth flight I ever had. That time I asked my student, do you feel the difference? He said, no, same, what the difference? But I feel very different. I asked him the 3 times of question. Say, 3 or 4 times, do you feel the very small? But he said, but my conclusion, because I feel the very small, I feel the very enjoyable flight, because I'm doing something that my master told me to do. That is the result I got because of the following that my master is the word. I'm following that. That is the result. So in the law of the karma, it says that you feel the joy because of the result of the what you do, the something good. In that flight, 2 hours and the 30 minutes, that flight, my student feel nothing special. Nothing special. I feel so special, very special. Plus, you won't believe that. I asked them that I want to the window seat. They gave me the back seat near the toilet, near the restroom. Many people don't know, worst seat. That is the worst seat. For me, I never know that is the best seat. So that is something I feel so nice and so enjoyable. I never experienced such a flight. But I'm not saying the other airlines are bad, okay? Please don't misunderstand me. I didn't feel them. But this is the smoothest flight I had. So that's the thing that I feel that joy. Because of that joy or the happiness is a result of the doing the good things. Because my main purpose is to come back to the Sarah. Because my master told that. So that's why I just reached the Sarah on the 31st of the December. So as my master's word. So then what we did is that my masters. So then my masters. The one other thing is that my master when we are having the class sessions with my master. The most interesting thing I can remember that my master is that usually many of you know him, many of might not. He was one of the greatest debater, and no one can defeat him in the debate. For me, he is like a Nagarjuna. I always feel that even the Nagarjuna is alive. Nagarjuna can't be better than him at all. That's my feeling. Okay, I'm not saying that a Nagarjuna is not that great. Okay, Nagarjuna is great. For me, the master is the Nagarjuna. For me, okay, it's really that he can build such a theory. Sometimes I make a joke, okay, because the Nagarjuna become. Why the Nagarjuna become the famous? Actually, Nagarjuna become the very famous because the Lama Tsongkhapa become the brand ambassador of the Nagarjuna. He made the Nagarjuna very famous. If you look at before the Lama Tsongkhapa, Nagarjuna is not famous at all, Tibetan history. Before that, Shantarakshita was very famous because he came to the Tibet. He became the master of the king. Now you can imagine. Someone become the master of the king. Officially, he will become so famous, no? So Shantarakshita was so famous. But later on, Lama Tsongkhapa made the Nagarjuna so famous. But still, when the Lama Tsongkhapa is not famous, the Nagarjuna cannot become the famous. Lama Tsongkhapa become famous. You know the why? Not because of his work. That might be a little bit sarcastic way of saying, but there is the truth in that because of the Mongol kings makes the Lama Tsongkhapa famous. Because Mongol kings, they ruled all over the country. China and the Tibet ruled the country, and these Mongol king told the Lama Tsongkhapa their master. Everyone had to worship. Everyone had to practice it. So that is the one history truth, okay? So then the Lama Tsongkhapa become famous. Lama Tsongkhapa made the Nagarjuna famous. So that's why these also, but there is one truth. But that might be very bitter, okay? Bitter truth, okay? One thing. Maybe 2 or 3 years back, I published one book in the Taiwan. That book became the bestseller. I think, okay, that should not be recorded, okay? That's become the bestseller. You know how it became the bestseller? 2 ways. Editor give the very fantastic name of the book, how to overcome the stress within the 14 days. Name, advertisement company, these 2 work very well, and the book become the bestseller. That become the bestseller. How it goes, the world is going like that way. Really, this is going to go. This is how they go. Now, once you reach in the bestseller, then the second people will buy it without knowing what its content is there. Just go on there and buy it. They say, oh, it's a bestseller. Because it came in the bestseller. This all things that goes on the advertisement company, is an editor, all they work together and make the bestseller, okay? But today, I'm not ending branding my master, okay? I don't want to make him such a bestseller master, okay? But today I'm telling in the reality, what truth about him, I'm telling him about my master, okay? This is what the reality truth. So that's why he's have to publish the one book. He's published the one book, and that book, I think hardly, maybe not many people buy that. Because even the many people buy it, they will not understand it at all. He talks such a profound of the philosophy. Such a profound of the philosophy, and the people cannot understand. So once they cannot understand the book, no one will buy that book. So that's why, that's why my master, when he explained that, especially with the emptiness point, it is very difficult to understand. Because I think that whenever he gives the teaching, he touched the very deepest point. Most profound the philosophy point he touched, and he will explain that. So there is a saying that when the Lama Tsongkhapa had the vision of the Manjushri Buddha explained a lot of the things about the emptiness, Lama Tsongkhapa could not understand it. So once the Lama Tsongkhapa could not understand it, the Manjushri Buddha told the Lama Tsongkhapa that once you cannot understand it, you just note down. When the times comes, you will understand it. Same thing like that it happened in my life. When my master, sometimes he talked a very deep philosophy points, sometimes I cannot understand it. Now slowly I'm getting his point, what he's talking, the very profound of the points of the emptiness. Like a very simple way, I will tell you the one thing. Normally, this is like an emptiness. Emptiness is such a point that if you read the book 5 minutes of the emptiness, I'm sure you will understand something. If you read the 10 minutes about the emptiness, I'm sure you will understand something. But the difference is that some people, when they read, they can't understand something, and they will tell now they understand the emptiness at all. Some people will say that, still they could not understand. That's the only difference. Otherwise everyone, when they read something, they will get something, the emptiness in their mind. So that's why what is happening. So my point is, that's why what I'm saying is that when my master, when he explained about the emptiness, that time when I cannot understand it, that time I always feel that I don't understand the emptiness at all. I don't understand the emptiness at all. Because my master's explained is so deep about emptiness. Still I studied so many years of the emptiness, I always feel that I don't understand it. Then my master told me the one thing. Now don't go for meditate for the emptiness. Just go for the purification of the negative karma. He told me that. Purification of negative karma. So then I stopped the thinking of the emptiness in the practice and went through the purification. As my master said. Then slowly, now later on I got the more clear understanding of the emptiness. More clear understanding of emptiness. Because I all feel that these are the blessings of my master. So that makes me to understand the emptiness. Because the emptiness point is such a tricky point. Very tricky point. That is a very tricky point. Why I'm saying the tricky point is that I met one person, he came to the Sera. I don't know that some in the monastery, they sent that person to me. Then he was telling me the one thing that about emptiness. Then he told me that the emptiness theory, when he practiced emptiness theory, he can see like a house. Still he can see the emptiness of the house. Whatever object he sees, he can clearly see the nature of the empty of that object very clearly. So he was telling me what is that state, person who can perceive or realize emptiness directly. So I told, in the philosophy term we call that as the darshan mark. You know the darshan mark, third path. So then he told, then he told me that he had now reached that path, third path, darshan mark. He himself declared that he was reached declared that. So that might happen, a lot like happens like that, no? Everyone such a, when my master was giving the emptiness teaching, I could not declare anything because his explanation so profound that I could not get it at all. That is the one master, really. That is. But otherwise, if there is no one such a master who can explain the emptiness so deep to you, I'm sure you will declare that now you realize the emptiness, and I'm sure that you will declare that now you are going to teach back Buddha the emptiness. What is the emptiness is? That what happens. This is the happening. So the happenings all around. This is the happening. So that's why you need a very perfect master. So that's why the second thing is why my master gives the very deep philosophy is that I always used to say the one thing. When you look at every Buddhism teaching or like that, now it becomes not a Buddhism or philosophy, it becomes the moral science teaching. What I'm saying, the moral science teaching, if it's a Buddhist philosophy, it should be bring the logic, lots of the logics, lot of the evidence to prove what you are saying. Now many of the teaching, Buddhism teaching is a very simple thing they talk. One person, she is not a Buddhist, so she told me one thing. She told me she attended a lot of the Buddhist teaching. Then she told me that why all these Buddhist masters talk a very childish topic, which can I understand very easily. Even without going to this teaching, I know all these topics. Very true. My master was the one, the Buddhist master, who really teach the deep philosophy. That's a Buddhist master, really Buddhist master. Now if you look at attend the many Buddhist teaching, you will understand all the things. Because they all taught a childish topic. Oh, don't do such a thing, don't do that thing, don't do that thing. And you will get amazed. You will get amazed. Wow, very nice talking. You get amazed because they taught you something you already understand. Now you are amazing. You are getting surprised. When someone teach you which you cannot understand it, you will reject them. So that my master was that master who really teach the Buddhism, I should say. Now if you look at many of the topics Buddhist teaching and master, they go to very simple topics, very simple childish things. So that is why, that's why my master, whenever he gives the teaching, the public teaching, no one can understand. No one can understand, maybe I might be wrong, many of them they could not understand. One time my master went to Taiwan and he gave the teaching. That time the one Lama, I was asking how he gave the teaching. So he told that I think he gave a very profound teaching. So I asked him, do the student understand? But the translator, then the Lama told me one very funny incident that when he was giving such a deep philosophy teaching, the translator told that he will getting very frustrated that he could not translate my master word at all because he could not understand it at all. So that is the real my master stuff. When he did a very deep philosophy and he gave the teachings. So even in my time, he gave a lot of deep teachings. So that time I didn't understand it at all, what he was talking about. Now I'm getting the more and more clear understanding of what he was teaching. So that's why what happened is that's why my master, so I think that if you join my master teaching before, I'm sure that his teaching is quite up. I think that for the first one who visited the CKSL, I think is in his teaching. He's always the teaching is not that simple things. Goes in the very deep points. He's the very unique style, very deep points. Because right now all the people, because I know that I've been in the whole my life giving the teaching in one country to another teaching, I have one experience. Good teaching nowadays means make the people laugh. Let them enjoy. And myself act a little bit like a crazy laugh. So then you will feel, wow, that's a good teaching. Because you enjoy it. That is what happening. I have one experience. One student, later she became my student. She told me when she joined the first time in my teaching, she just thought that I will not follow this crazy monk. Laugh and shout like that. She told me that. But later, what is happening is right now, people started enjoying it. So started enjoying it, they thought it was a good teaching. But in the reality, my master's style is totally different. He was always very serious with the teaching because he takes the teaching as a very serious job. But for me, I don't take the teaching as a serious job because I don't prepare. When I come, I just talk. I don't take it as serious much as my master's take. My master takes the teaching job as a very serious job to him. So that's why when he explains, no jokes. In the reality sense of my master is a great sense of the humor sense of when he tells the jokes. He has lots of jokes. But in the teaching time, he never tells the jokes. But the thing is that right now, so that is something like that. Why I'm saying all this is I'm just introducing how my master is. That I'm just introducing. He's like that of the master. But as I mentioned before, he find out something, the positive qualities me, and that he activated in me. So really, I'm so grateful for him. Example, the one thing is that in the monastery, when we are studying in the monastery, we have to have a lot of the pujas and the pronunciations. I never go to the pujas and the prayers. I only go to the class and the debate. I don't like to go to these pujas. So that time when the monks, some monks or the student not going to puja, that time, not now, okay, that time it's the 1993 or 94, like that time, it is not that good. It is something like not a good student. So my master never forced me to go to the teachings. Sorry, not forced me to go to the pujas. Okay, can you burn the incense outside? It's burning the heart. Okay, outside maybe it's too much. So he never forced me that. He never forced me. He will let me do the whatever I want. That is something really. He was a very sense of the openness, very open. He never forced me to do this and that and this and never. Number one. Even that traditionally, he was brought up in a very traditional monastery, but he will never do the force. And the one time I brought the one small young student to him, and I asked him, the master, to pray him that whether he can learn the philosophy very well. He asked me the one question: my small student, do he have the interest to learn the philosophy? He have the interest of it. So he told me that if you don't have the interest, don't force him. If you have the interest to learn, then force him. That is such a message my master gave you to. Now, I built up the monastery in the Nepal. I'm not so sure whether you know. Built up the monastery. These are around the 55 monks. My target is to bring our 300 monks training over there, and I built up the monastery. So that the same thing, my master that gave me the idea that look at the interest. When they have the interest, then let them force. So that's why in my monastery now, what I'm trying to do is not to force any kids. I want to brought them in a very liberal way. Liberal way that if you know the Sarah monastery, they are not allowed to play the cricket and football is not allowed. If you get caught to playing the football, you have to pay the fine, maybe 300 rupees or 500 rupees. But in my monastery in Nepal, I built up the playground for the kids to play the football, play the games. Because my master is so open. He left very open in the sense. Because he only focused on the Buddha's rules. What Buddha never told the monks cannot play the football. So that's why in my monastery, I built a playground. Maybe in the nature, if you come to my monastery in Nepal, you will see the monks will play the football. One more thing is I want to build up the football team of my monastery in Nepal. Because my master is so open, and he was not like that, such a very conservative person, no? He was very open. That really the time is, but only thing is I will educating them very well. I will take care of their food very well, and I will brought them in a very liberal and a very friendly way. But still, you can see that these old monks are brought up from a very poor background. Some are semi-orphans, some are orphans, some are very poor background. So I brought, and it's like the system is like a Sarajevo school. They have studying the modern education, plus they have to study the Buddhism, and plus every morning they have to go through the meditation sessions. And they are doing the kids, they are doing that. But one thing very interesting, not interesting, very funny thing is that because even I don't stay too much in my monastery in the Nepal. So when I went out and I came back, and one of the small monks saw me, and he asked me that why you came back to monastery. So he was asking me why you came back. So then I told him that I just came back to see how you all are doing, good, or how you all are doing. So this is something like that. This is the one when I'm building that monastery. So the blueprints of my monastery I bring to show to my master. So the priest pray for my building. I'm building the monastery. My master it's so good, very good. And I asked the master, please sign on the blueprint of the monastery. So my master said he could not see. And then I asked him, can you place your thumb on the map, the blueprint of the monastery? Yeah, it said he pressed it. Then I thought, now I'm sure that it will go very well. I have the confidence. So then I went to build the monastery. When I was building the monastery, it was in the one small mountain. So I asked the construction company to cut the mountain. They were so scared that really it will be very dangerous. So I told him that don't worry, just go on a cut. Whatever happens, I will take the full responsibility. They went on a cut. And they asked me only build the 3 floor. I didn't listen to them, and I just went for the 4th floor. When I was building 4th floor, I think you have heard about the Kathmandu, the Nepal earthquake. Earthquake time, many monasteries got the collapse and the crack. By my monastery, nothing happened. I don't feel that is a miracle. I feel that is the blessing with my master. It carried my master, so that it didn't crack, even the small crack in my monastery. So it went so well. So that's why when I was building the whole, then I was telling all the construction company to do that and this and the cut here and there. They were so scared and they told me it will be not safe at all. Especially it's on the hillside. Especially when they do the soil test, it is not that good soil the condition. But I didn't listen to that. I just went to what I want, but nothing happened, especially at the earthquake time. So I really feel that is the blessing of my master. Now here I will come with one conclusion. In my life, no one knows that whether it's really my master blessing or not. That is not important. But the most important is that my feeling of my master's blessing, it gives me a lot of the confidence. With that confidence, I do a lot of the things in my life, and everything will went so well because of the confidence. Confidence I got from my faith and my devote to my masters, and that I always feel that gave me some of the confidence and faith. And plus his instruction, that really helped me a lot he gave a lot of the instructions and the words to me, to how I have to deal with the things and the world. That really helped me a lot. So this is the things that I just thought to share with you, that my masters and my life experience. So yeah, so maybe I will stop here. And one other thing is I just want to talk the one thing. Maybe some might you have the interest of that, because last time I spoke with I'm not so sure that you all know Ujjwal. You know the Ujjwal? Yeah, okay. You know Ujjwal, no? Yeah, I spoke with the Ujjwal. And Lake Sola, I think you know the Lake Sola, no? Lake Sola, you know Lake Sola. Then I spoke with the Raf and I talked with that one thing that now I have the monastery in Nepal and I'm building the guest house over there. So I told that now because of that I could not come so often to especially the India, I could not come so often. So now if there are any students from here or the Sarah, if they're willing to do some like a 7 days retreat like that in the Nepal, then I can make up the one retreat program in my monastery in Nepal. If you're interested, you can join. And I told that at that time that whoever comes to my monastery, traveling expense that you have to cover up. While you're staying there, the food and the place to stay, that my monastery in Nepal will cover it up. Okay? So that is, you just, if you're later on, if you're interested, so maybe you can contact with the Ujjwal or Lake Sola, okay? Lake Sola contact. So because why I'm thinking is that in the normally when I travel out to the India, many places we do a lot of the retreat, retreat programs and the retreat program we're having. So now I don't live that much as India as before because of my traveling programs. So if you are interested on that program for 1 week like that in the coming to the Nepal or Kathmandu, please get contact with the Ujjwal or the Lake Sola, okay? Lake Sola and the Ujjwal, you just contact with them. So that is now I'm planning to have like a 7 days retreat program in the Nepal Kathmandu in my monastery. So monastery, that when it will come because right now I'm building the guest house also. Over there, guest house is going to finish over there, guest house, and the dormitory. I'm building up the more rooms of the dormitory. So once it's finished, so that's it. That I just thought to inform you to 7 days, okay? Like that, okay? If you stay more than 7 days, then you have to pay, okay? yes, okay.
What's the monastery called?
Khangser Tejin Chuli. It's Khangser Tejin Chuli. So the monastery is just nearby. There is one very holy mountain called the Monkey Temple. Legendary, it said it's where the place the Manjushri Buddha reside. So next to that mountain, the holy mountain. So that is the place. So good thing about, I always tell the people that one good thing about my monastery is that it is very hard to get the mobile signal. Less distraction. So I'm very happy with it. So with the kids and all they are having, they get a very difficult to get the mobile signal. So less distraction. So they cannot waste the time to using the mobile. So that I'm quite happy with it. So yeah. Anything else? Yeah. Okay. Then if you have any questions, then we'll have a question answer session. Then we'll. Yeah, then I will go. 14.
Master, Om Mani Padme Hum. I know I've studied Buddhism in many countries and all religions in 9 countries. My question is, would you say that Shunya and Nirvikalpa Samadhi of Hindus, you know that beyond the Satchidananda bliss there is nothingness. Nothingness and emptiness is the real nature of the universe, which now quantum physicists are finding out. They find a small particle of atom can be in 2 places at the same time. And most of this, if you put it under an electron microscope, is nothingness. So would you say that in some way, Buddhist idea of emptiness is similar to Hindu idea of Shunya? Or is it different? How do you explain that?
Okay. Now, idea of the emptiness, idea of the shunya. Now we have to look this point with the two-way, okay? Two-way, look at this point. If you look only by the word, it can be seen with the many, the religion, it will be seen. Because I have an experience with one time, I was in Italy and I was talking with one archbishop, Catholic archbishop, and he told me one thing, that even there is a word called the whiteness. Whiteness, it's in the Bible, very similar with the empty. Yeah, he told me. Yeah. So this is the one point. So different perspectives of looking of the nothingness. There are many different perspectives of looking at the nothingness. Now the Buddhism point, what we talk about emptiness, is as you mentioned about the quantum physics, the theory. There are a lot of the researchers going on, the scientists and the scholars, they talk about this. I'm not interested in that part. Why I'm not interested in that part? Whether it goes with the quantum physics, whether it don't goes with the quantum physics, it does not going to change your life at all. It doesn't. You will remain the same as what you are. Most important for me is how we can change into the people's life, how we can make our lives better, happier. So that's the most important. Buddhism talks about the emptiness mainly in terms of selflessness. How you look at yourself, trying to look at yourself and try to find who you are, is who you are. So that is the why where the importance is. If you look at the every family issues or the every society issues, every country issues, many problems are directly related with the ego. Every problem, you go to the ego. Because of the ego, then the small issue becomes the one you make it very big. And the reality, the issue might be very small. It becomes a big because of the ego. Once you have the ego, then comes the I, then my, then you, and the your. Then that is the root of the conflict. Every root of the conflict. My and the your. I and the you. That's the conflict. So that's why the Buddhism point is that we try to break that ego. To break that ego, try to find who you are. Try to find yourself who you are. So there is one very famous saying that one master was explaining about the emptiness of the self, selflessness. Then the student told the master that, now I really understand the emptiness. Now I fully understand the emptiness. Then my master asked, what is the emptiness? So then the student told her, I really understand the emptiness. I really understand the selflessness. That there is a no self. There is a no I. There is a no I, there is a no self. I really understand that point very clearly. So then the master asked the second question, who understand that? Who understand that? So this is the one very tricky point. When you're saying that the emptiness of the self, selflessness. So Buddhism, when you are looking to break the ego, Buddhism, when you're breaking the ego, that's why to understand the emptiness of the self, selflessness, shunya, that is more related with the things about the self. So once you can break the ego, then you will automatically, you will feel a lot of the difference. That will be a lot of the changes in yourself. So that's why when Buddha was explaining the emptiness, first thing he explained about the selflessness. When he was explaining the selflessness, this is the point, emptiness point. I don't want to talk further because this is the retreat point. Okay, last time I talked with the Ujjwal and Khangser that we'll have a 1 week retreat of the emptiness. It's meditating on the emptiness fully done. Because of something that once you meditate, it's a different experience you will have. 1 week you experience, then you will feel something different, understand something different, experience something different. That is the purpose of the retreat. When you go on the explain and explain and explain, there is one of the Tibetan very famous scholar. He said the one thing: more you express the word, you will get more far away from the realities. When you come so more closer to the reality, you will have a less word to express. More you express, more you talk, you are getting more far from the reality. So that's why the retreat time, more, no talk, meditate. So that is the empty. So that's the last time I spoke with the Ujjwal and Khangser and the Ralph and we spoke and the 1 week retreat in the Nepal on the first thing that I'm planning to do on the retreat on emptiness. Yeah. Yeah.
Masterji, as we are the seekers, we are seeking for the truth. We are attracted by the different schools of thought and the different schools of teachings, and also the different masters. We are attracted. We go here and we go there, and we are in the line of gathering some knowledge and information and comparative knowledge, whatever you call it. Is it necessary or not? One thing. And how can we stick to one school of thought or one master?
Okay. I always used to say the one thing. Dharma can practice by the 2%. Dharma can be practiced by the only 2%. Rest of them they cannot practice it. 2%. Two kind of the person can practice Dharma well. The first one is the stupid people. The second is the crazy people. Crazy and the stupid people can practice the Dharma very well. Otherwise, no one can practice the Dharma very well. Because the thing is that the stupid and the... Okay, so they are saying that when you look at the crazy people and enlightened people, there's a very little difference, okay? Crazy people and the enlightened person. The crazy people who knows they are crazy, mad people who know themselves they are the mad, these people are also sane or enlightened person. Okay, sane and enlightened. Who the crazy people or mad people who realize they are the crazy or mad, they call us sane. Okay, they are called as sane. So that's why 2 people can be practice Dharma. Why I'm saying is that when you're collecting the knowledge, when you're collecting a lot of knowledge, finally you have to judge. You have to tell that which is the right knowledge. You have to know that, okay, you collect the 10 different knowledge. Finally 10 different knowledge and you have to find it out which one is right. You get the 10 different information. Finally you have to decide which is the right information. Finally you have to decide, you have to realize it. Now the second question is sticking the one master or sticking, okay? First thing is you just go and explore all the things, explore, get all the information. Then, second thing, then you try to find a stick on the one, okay? First you explore. Then how you have to stick on the one point is which changes your lives better, which change your life in more happier. That is the right message to you. People in the life, we will get a lot of the different, the spiritual practice or spiritual teachings. But once you get it, once it doesn't change you better human, once it not help you make you more happier, that means it's not affecting you. It is like a medicine. When you take the medicine, if you're getting better, what does that mean? That means the medicine is helping you. When you're eating that medicine, you're not getting better. What does that mean? Very simple. That medicine is not helping you at all. So same thing, spiritual is like that, which makes you more happier, which makes you more better human. That means that that spiritual practice or advice is helping you. That it suits you. That's the thing how you have to choose. Because sometimes what we go do is the spiritual practice is not something like a gathering the information, okay? When you learn the spiritual, it is not gathering the information. To gather the information, I think the Google is the best. Just go to the Google and you will get thousands of information at Google. That will do 1,000 times better than the 100 spiritual teacher. I'm sure. Google can do much better than the 100 spiritual teacher to giving you the information. Okay? So spiritual practice is not collecting all the information. To get some advice, which should touch to your heart, and after practicing it, you change you into the better human, to change into the more happier person. That is the spiritual. That kind of a practice, you should stick on it. Whoever teach that kind of practice, that should be you choose the yes, master and stick on it with that. Okay.
Teachings of Buddhism, they give me a lot of peace to my heart. But there is something very impractical about Buddhism. Like, so you say the nature of every human being is good, right? But in Hinduism, they say even though we are same spark, but some people are Rakshasi by nature. So you can't teach them by compassion, you have to fight with them. So you guys don't believe in that probably. But now if we use Buddhism as a, you have to think about what happened to you. I mean, people have to live with it. And for me also we suffered because of some fundamentalist Islamist thing. So, so in that sense, I mean, suppose there was no India, then Tibetan culture would have gone, right? So there has to be the people who have that compassion. So we use compassion as a first source to help ourselves. Then if not, then we have to hide, right? And you are not teaching that. And it's very impractical. Now if we say a person has taken a vow to be bodhisattva, right, then it doesn't matter. He dies in the height, like in the name of compassion is okay. But then at the same time, we can't preserve the culture of the Dharma, right? So it's very impractical if you see in that sense. And for me, I've been thinking about it. Like that's one of the reasons I can't be a really Buddhist. And so can you please help me to do some peace?
Okay, sure. Maybe stop recording. Stop recording. Maybe I will share with some of my experience. Okay, other questions, yeah. Yeah.
What are the qualities of good teacher and good student?
Good teacher and good student, okay. Quality of the good teacher are the three important things especially for the teachers, Dharma teacher. No, he should have a very good knowledge, very compassionate, and he should be the well practiced. Three things are very important: very good knowledge, very compassionate, and well practiced. These three are very important. The student and the master is something like that. The student's side is very important to understand the master is very important for the understanding the master. Master's side, the compassion is very important for the students. Because when these two comes, then it will go very well. It is especially the spiritual teaching is not like the giving the coaching class, no? Coaching class, student and the master, they have the one bond between that is, if I use the very harsh word, it's the money. Money is the bonding. The school, teacher and a student, money. When the salary is the decrease, the teacher will leave the school. I'm not any complaining, okay, that's very fine, their job. I'm not complaining, but this is the happening. Here in the spiritual side, master and the student bond should be based on the compassion and the understanding. That's a very important. Like something like an example. When you have, most of the time right now, what is happening? When you have some difficulties or unhappiness, or what will you do? Two ways. Whether you call the psychiatrist and get an appointment. What will psychiatrist do? He or she will just listen to your problem. You want some, then you have to pay for listen your problem. That is the really what is. I'm doing the exactly psychiatrist job, but not having this degrees, medical degree. Sometimes I get a call, a complaint here, 10, 15 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes they will talk on their problems and this problem, that problem. I have to say, yes, I'm sure maybe some of the here also, maybe you have to listen to this problem. Your friend solved the problem, you're going to listen. You're doing the exactly very good job. Okay, listening. Now the time is that to listen to your problem, you need to pay. But the master's job is the first thing is that really compassionate. Listen with a really true compassion. You have to read the difficulties. Sometimes people having the difficulties and the problems, but they cannot share with anyone. Because in the family, I think it's very difficult to share nowadays. Because your kids, wife, husband, they all are busy. You know? Busy. Kids are busy with the video games and the internet. Husband are busy with the job. Wives have to do somewhere, maybe a salon or whatever. So a lot of the things they have to going on. So they have no time to share with you. So this is the most important thing is the master should be very compassionate to the students. It is not something like that the master is, oh, I'm busy or like this and that, not listening to the students, the complaint or the students' difficulty. That's you should be very compassionate. That is a wonderful quality. Student is very important, the understanding the master is very important. To become the good student, bright student, you have to understand the master. Understanding the master. What I mean by the understanding the master means what the master is, his the free times, how he have the food taste or the whatever. These all the understanding is very important for the student, for the master. The good student is the just try to do what the master say, the right things, okay? Whatever the master say, the right things, at least you try to do it, okay? Whether you can do or cannot do, that's a totally different question. At least you try to do. Because you should know the one thing, the spiritual master, they are giving you a lot of times for you. So they're trying to give you some advice. So that's why you try to do something that what they say, the right things. That whoever try to do that, that is the right student. So that is the thing. The right student and the right master should be like that. So that is the thing. So this is the one thing, what I feel the importance in the right now. Okay, in this 21st century, things are changing so fast. Things are changing so fast, and right now the humans and the human relationship. If you look at this relationship, sometimes this relation seems like it's a very fake relation. Fake, going to very fake. Example: once you get back to the home, just you meet a husband or a wife and say that, oh, you love, oh, you just said I love you. Once your husband or the wife not respond you back same, you will get hurt. That means you are expecting something. When you are making that relation, it's not a genuine relation. If you really love, why you expect something back the word to say you love you? Why you are expecting it? Now, this is something like that. Now slowly it becomes like a rule. Now you follow the rule, not something saying from your heart. So once you become the rule, then there is no emotion and no feelings. You are just doing it like a machine, repeating it, just doing it. So that's the thing, repeating a machine with master and student relation, that really not like that. You should build it on like a really true feeling, true emotion, true feeling with base and the compassion, respect, understanding. That is a very one of the new relation. That's what I built with my master. So that's why sometimes when you really have something in your mind, so you can share with your master with the trust. Something very secret with you share with your wife. Maybe your wife will tell her best friend. That best friend will tell someone else. Tibetan, we have the one story. Yes. They had the one person, and the two friends went to do the business. They went to get the business, and ancient time. Though they carried all the goods to sell on the yak, and they put the yak, and they went to the couple of the months to do the business, and once they get back with a huge profit. They are very close to friends. So what happened is that these two close friends, the one friend told another friend in the middle of the night in the jungle, he told the one thing, I really saw that we two got a huge profit. But once we get back to the village, we have to share. So I don't want to share the profit. I want to own profit to myself. So that's why I'm very sorry to say that I want to kill you and get all the profit for myself. That friend said, okay, fine, if you want to kill me, you can kill me. But at least let me send the message to my children. Tell that you kill me and take the revenge behalf of me. So that he said, how are you going to send that message? I will send that message by the wind. Wind will carry my message. So he said, it's impossible. So that the friend, okay, you can go on. Then he shouted and said, Mr. Wind, please carry this message to my son, that my best friend killed me in the middle of the night, in the middle of the jungle. Please take a revenge behalf of me. He said that, and he allowed his friend to kill. His friend killed and went back to the village and told him that his friend fell from the mountain and died. And his family, and especially the whole village, feel very sad, but nothing can do, because he died in an accident. So it went time when no one knows what happens. Time went, time went. Then after the few months later, his wife, so very strange, because sometimes he used to laugh without any reason. Sometimes middle of the night, suddenly he used to laugh. So then his wife asked, really, what happened? You are laughing without any reason, middle of the night. So he was keeping a very secret, that incident. He was laughing because of thinking that how stupid is his best friend sending the message by the wind, and still the family is not knowing the wind didn't pass the message. It is impossible. So how stupid? He was laughing. Laughing, and what happened is many times he was laughing. And the wife used to ask. Then one day he told the wife, I have a very, very big secret. Don't tell anyone. So I have to promise you. Wife told, sure, I will promise you, I will not tell anyone. Then what happened is that, then he told the wife the story. My best friend was so stupid. Actually, I killed him. He didn't fall from the mountain. I killed him. Well, then I killed him. He sent the message, saying like the shouting in the middle of the night, in the middle of the jungle, and saying the wind to carry his matches. How stupid is this? He shared the whole story and told the wife that no, don't tell anyone. Wife said, I will promise I will not tell anyone. After the few weeks later, his wife told her best friend that story and tell the wife, her best friend not to tell anyone. That best friend told her other best friend. After some months later, whole the village know that he killed his best friend. Then his son took the revenge. That is a story. Actually, it's happening like that. Now, once you have the secret. Now, even sometimes, I'm not so sure whether you are very confident to tell your wife also. So this is something like that trust. That is a trust. No, so something like that you will. So that is something like, because I have there is one, actually, there is some students, they came from Shanghai, the Shanghai place to meet me in Nepal. So the lady told me that actually she wanted to come to Nepal. And there is her friend, and they just discussed each other and how to convince her husband. Then one lady told me actually she wanted to come to Nepal, and she told her husband that her friend wants to go to Nepal and she have to accompany her friend. You know the make of the stories. That is right now it's happening. But my point is that in the life, so that's why the master and the student, something like that, the most important thing is you need to trust it. That trust will come when they have compassion. The compassion and the understanding is the master's most important key point. So that's why there's something like that. The master is something like that. Sometimes a way you can share some of your confusion. In the life, sometimes the most difficult thing is the confusion. No? Confusion and the doubt is one of the worst things in our life. When you have a confusion, when you have the doubt, it makes you so hurtful. You will not know what to do. So this is something we can share with the master, discuss with the master. Because the master is something which can you look at this point from a different perspective. You will see something from your perspective. Master can see from another perspective. So that is something you are learning to some issue from the different perspective. That is which the master can help you. Okay? Yes? Okay.
At this moment, I wish to have a little more clarification regarding compassion and sympathy. We do best to our capacity and consciousness to a sick person or a needy or a poor person or whatever it may be, as a man or animal, whatever it may be. We do best according to the situation or circumstance. We become happy to some extent. After that, our consciousness it is not happy. I mean, it is not complete. You have to do little more and more. Then we become attached to that. Then in that situation, we cannot proceed further and console ourselves or satisfy ourselves. That becomes more or less their attachment. Am I rightly asking this or not? Or what to do at these situations?
Okay.
How to overcome this?
Okay. So the attachment issues. Actually, one student asked the master, can we send an email? So in the monastery, one monk asked the master that can we send an email? The master told the student monk, yeah, sure, you can send the email, but without attachment. So attachment, when you come to the attachment, first you have to understand what does the actually the attachment here we means. Okay, Buddhism, what we mean attachment. Attachment is something love, and the attachment, it is a really very complicated things. Why it's complicated, I'm saying is that when you get attached to someone, slowly you will start a possession idea. Possession. That idea it will come when you attach to something. Possession. So attachment is something like that when you really love someone or whatever, when you do the compassion or love someone, you will think the happiness of the other. When you start to think that your happiness more, your enjoyment, your happiness more, that's become the attachment. Example, when when you really feel something like you are more happy, when you are getting the more care about your own happiness, that is becoming a more attachment. When you are caring and the more others' happiness, that is true love. But the one thing we are not knowing, the one very simple secret. If you look at your family, if your wife, children are happy, automatically, definitely you will become happy. It's not that important that first you think that your happiness before. First you think that your children's or your wife's or your parents' happiness. Definitely you will become more happy. Then you will become more happy. That's the most important part. Example, my own experience, the one example. Maybe there's a 3-4 years back, I'm having the project of building the monastery, and we're having the very discussion about how we have to face that monastery, the building, monastic institute building, how to face it. They're having a very heated argument in my family, because I want to face the one direction and they want to face another direction before the building all these buildings. So it is quite heated argument. Heat means quite tough. The heat discussion when my brother and my father is one side. First my mother is on my father's side and I'm the one side. Then it didn't get any result. So I stopped the discussion and I went from the room, maybe 10-15 minutes of discussion, a little bit heat discussion. You get my point, no? Heat discussion, I left the room. When I get alone, my mother came out and my mother told me, you decide whatever really you want. Don't look at what my father wants, don't look at what my brother wants, you just go on that. You just decide. So I really feel that my mother's love, that a very strong love. So once she is having that strong love, even she just left her own ego. First she was not arguing with my point. Later on the whole love towards me much strong. So that's why he dropped the whole ego and he dropped the whole his idea. So that is the really very important message I got that. So that's why in something like that, when you love someone, and when you really, attachment or something, because you come to your ego, or the thinking something or your own happiness, that attachment comes. When you really love someone, you care for the other's happiness more. That's the most important. I always used to say the one thing, that a very, very long back, quite long, but that is maybe 10 or 12 years back, one gentleman asked me that he's going to marry his fiancée. So I told him that why you're going to marry your fiancée. He told me that if he marry his fiancée, actually he asked me to pray for his marriage life. So then I asked him why you're going to marry your fiancée. He told me if he marry his fiancée, he will become more happy. I told him that you are thinking very wrong. You should not think that way. You should think that if you marry your fiancée, she will become more happy. You should think that way. That's the difference with the attachment and the love. When your attachment, For your happiness, you want to marry. Your happiness, you want to brought up the children. So your happiness, children should get the more marks for your happiness. That is attachment. So the happiness of your children, happiness of your wife, if you think that way, that is a genuine love. That is the difference that Buddhism, what we are saying. Now you are saying the sympathy of the compassion to the others. When you do the compassion, sympathy for the others, one thing it's very important to know that your limit. When you say the compassion, when you see the 100 beggars, it doesn't mean that when you have the compassion, you have to give the whole the beggar. It doesn't mean that at all. Even if you see the one beggar, compassion doesn't mean that you have to give the money at all. Sometimes people get a misunderstanding with that. Compassion merely means the feelings of the other's pain. That is a real compassion. Sometimes comes the baker, you give the money, because of that bakers makes you so nuisance, makes you so irritated. So just move the baker in front of your sight, you just give the money. That is not a compassion. That's something you are attached to yourself. You want to the comfort zone. Maybe beggar entered into that comfort zone, and you want to remove the beggar from your zone, and you are just giving the money. That is not a compassion. But real compassion is feeling something of the other's pain, feel something of the other difficult. That is a real compassion. So today, yeah, that's why today when I coming from the train, I saw the one beggar and I give something. So someone asked me that I feel the sorry for the beggar because beggar is a limb. Yeah, so sorry for that. So I told that limb and something like an accident happened. I don't feel that sorry and the compassion with what he happens, but I feel the more compassion with the family, how they are getting the difficulties. That I always feel. When someone is suffering, that is a suffering, I know that. But the more I feel the compassion toward that person, the family, how they having the difficulties. Because in my life, when I meet the people having some problems, more than that, I saw that their family worry more about that person. Person who are having the suffering and the difficulty, slowly they will start to accept that their condition. Sometimes for their parents, it's very difficult to accept that. So that's I feel more compassion. Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, so maybe I'll stop here. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you very much. And the one again thing is that yeah. So if you are interested about that retreat program, so you can contact with Ujjwal or Neko. Okay, that retreat program. So 1 week retreat in the Nepal about the emptiness. But the most important thing is that time may be a little bit flexible. Time can be a little bit flexible. Okay, that is the one thing. Second thing is that many students, with a close by student, me and who works in my foundation, they all tell me or complain me about the one thing, everything I change in the last minute, okay? That I don't know, really, I don't like that, okay? But many of the close my student who works in my foundation, different country foundation, they all complain me that I change everything in the last minute. Might be, okay? Just know that, okay? That can happen, so okay? Everything I might change in the last minute, okay? Don't expect that everything's I decided and I will do that, okay? No, I can change everything in last minute, okay? Just okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Okay.